Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Steve Leeser of the 133rd Logistics Readiness Squadron. Welcome to the Change of Command ceremony for the 133rd Mission Support Group. Please rise for the arrival of the official party. Chaplain Germain will now provide the invocation.
Would you pray with me? As Almighty God, we bow before you this crisp autumn afternoon, warm here indoors as winter quickly approaches. A change of season which reminds us that time continually marches forward. As we prepare to change command of the 133rd Airlift Wing's Mission Support Group, we give you thanks for placing Colonel Brian Mont in the position of command these last 21 months. We know that the mantle of leadership is great, but you, O God, place capable leaders where they can be most effective. You also place helpers in their midst, and we thank you that Cindy has been by Brian's side in caring for the families of MSG, along with Nathan here today and Brandon and Katie at home. As we prepare to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Brian Winter to the commander position, we give you thanks for the breadth of experience that he brings to bear, and know that you, O God, will continue to equip him for future challenges. We also pray for Jessica as she encounters the additional stresses of her husband's leadership to the Mission Support Group, and are mindful that Adam and Amelia also experience the absence of a father on many weekends. We thank you as well, God, for the ability of Colonel Winter's parents, Daryl and Linda, to join us virtually today. But grateful for your presence among us, O God, we now ask your continued blessing upon the members of the Mission Support Group, the 133rd Airlift Wing, and all who have gathered to recognize this occasion. It is in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Germain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce the official party with us today. Officiating today's ceremony is the commander of the 133rd Airlift Wing, Colonel James D. Cleet. The outgoing commander of the 133rd Mission Support Group, Colonel Brian L. Mont. The incoming commander of the 133rd Mission Support Group, Lieutenant Colonel Brian C. Winter. We also have family, friends, and other special guests here today. A special welcome to Colonel Mont's family, his wife Cindy, son Nathan, and his son and daughter Brandon and Katie viewing via Facebook Live at training. And a special welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Winter's family, his wife Jessica, his son Adam, and his daughter Amelia, and parents Daryl and Linda viewing via Facebook Live. I'd also like to recognize the distinguished guests in the audience today. Chief of Staff, Minnesota Air National Guard, Brigadier General Sandy Best. 133rd Airlift Wing Operations Group Commander, Colonel Jesse Carlson. 133rd Airlift Wing Maintenance Group Commander, Colonel Andrew Berta. 133rd Airlift Wing Medical Group Commander, Colonel David Nelson. 148th Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Lyle Shidla. 251st Cyberspace Engineering Installation Group Commander, Colonel Frank Dominguez. 133rd Airlift Wing Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Mark Legvold. Finally, a special welcome to all other commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, members of the 133rd Airlift Wing, and friends for being here to share in this special occasion. At this time, I'm honored to introduce the commander of the 133rd Airlift Wing, Colonel James Cleet.
I should really buy another one of these things. All right, let's see how this works out for me. I'm not going to tether myself to a podium. I'll try and carry the room and talk to the folks online here at the same time. So thank you for attending today's change of command of the Mission Support Group. Whether you're here in person and family, thank you for being here, or online there. It is my pleasure to pass the baton, the guidon, from Colonel Brian Mann to Lieutenant Colonel Brian Winter. To say that Brian, oh boy, there's too many Brians here, isn't there? To say that Colonel Mont carried the baton or the guidon during a complex period of time in our country and our state would be an understatement. What has happened to this wing and the Mission Support Group over the last 18 months to 2 years has, everyone uses unprecedented, but that is an apt word for what's been going on around here. So I'm going to spend some time thanking you for your service here, and then we'll have a chance in a month to retire you and say some other kind words about you then. Leading the Mission Support Group, it's a monumental task. It's roughly half the wing, frankly. It's the largest group in our wing, 500 plus airmen who do all sorts of things. And I wrote some of them down because I'm going to miss some as well. But we have a communications flight, a logistics readiness squadron, a support squadron who does, well, everything, including wearing tuxedos to here. But and thank you guys for putting together that special holiday meal today. Security Forces, Civil Engineering, and the 210th Engineering Installation Squadron, who also happens to be celebrating their 50th anniversary today. So thank you for your 50 years of service. But this group delivers fuel, orders parts, cleans the roads of snow, repairs buildings, all the above. And oh, by the way, in the last year, also provided the majority of the personnel for civil disturbance support, COVID support, manning facilities, everything from scrubbing bed pans to taking care of the citizens of Minnesota in very many ways. It is a lot to lead. It really is. And frankly, it's a lot to keep track of. And I know you don't have to do it alone. I know you didn't do it alone. You had a lot of support over here and from your family, but thank you. Thank you for that leadership over the last 18 to 24 months. Cindy, Nathan, and then online here, Brandon and Katie, thank you for your support. It is not lost upon me that a traditional guardsman takes time for a civilian job and everything that's involved in that, and then puts his family aside and comes here on weekends, and then everything else I just described took Brian away from you for the last 18 to 24 months, and it is an act of service. I'm breathing on myself here and fogging up my glasses. It is an act of service for families to support that. So thank you on behalf of the 133rd Airlift Wing and the Mission Support Group for the support you've given Brian over the last year. And Brian, you must have been doing something right because, well, serving online. I guess we could recruit you too and make it a clean sweep. But thank you very much. It's obviously a family that supports each other and serves. Thank you very much. Lieutenant Colonel Winter, also another Brian. They're everywhere. Congratulations. It's a great opportunity to lead. I have a couple things I'm going to charge you with here in a second. But commanding a group is different than being a squadron commander. You are a commander of commanders, and that takes a different set of skills. Again, you're not in it alone. The other group commanders in the front row here will help you. If you need advice, please ask them. Your squadron commanders in the rows behind, yes, you are commanding them now, but there's a wealth of experience. I don't expect you to know, nor could you know, everything about every one of those organizations. But you're going to lead, you're going to learn how to ask great questions, and then drive organizations to accomplish great things for the tenure while you're the commander here. So thank you for being willing to step up, and I look forward to serving with you. Lean on your fellow commanders, ask their advice, I said that, but make the hard calls. A decision today is usually more effective than a decision tomorrow, so make that hard call. We can always change course, but we tend to admire problems and push them down to tomorrow, and that's not really helping us. And then the most important thing I tell you is take care of your airmen. If you take care of your airmen, they will continue to do that job that I just talked about over the last couple years. Jessica, Adam, and Amelia, thank you for allowing Brian to serve with us over the next couple years. I look forward to spending time with you and your continued support. I appreciate it very much. With that, I believe I'm going to invite Colonel Brian Mont to say a couple words.
See if I can do this without knocking this off. Good afternoon, everybody. General Best.
You keep going.
Okay.
Just trying to.
Colonel Cleet, Group Commanders, Command Chief Legvold, and the group chiefs, and all the members of the wing and friends and family and special guests, thank you for being here today. Before I get too far, I'd like to say thank you for all the people who helped put this together. It's not an easy job. It takes some time and effort, so it's very much appreciated. General Best, thank you for supporting me throughout my career here. You've provided a lot of mentorship and friendship, and I really am very humble and honored to be able to know you and learn from you, so I thank you very much for your time and attention. Colonel Cleet, thank you for this opportunity. Our paths have crossed several times. I've enjoyed working with you at the 148th Fighter Wing, Joint Force Headquarters, and here lastly at the 133rd Airlift Wing. Your leadership style is admired. You mean business, you say what's on your mind, you get things done, but you always know how to have fun in the midst of all of it. But the most important thing is you take care of your airmen and you care for your airmen, so thank you for that. Colonel Shidla, I see you're here. Thank you for showing up here. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed your time at Joint Force Headquarters, and I still miss the A6 updates that were always very humbling, gloomy, and some kind of puts you in perspective of what we're really up against sometimes. So, thanks for coming today. So I consider myself very fortunate to have been able to serve in several different wings and organizations over the course of my career. My civilian job and personal decisions have influenced these moves, but the message to all of you is don't be afraid of change. Embrace it, be ready, and be prepared, because you never know what opportunity may come your way. Back in February of 2020, I took command of the Mission Support Group. I had about 1 or 2 drills under my belt before COVID entered the picture. I stood before you at my Assumption of Command ceremony and told you my plan was to listen, learn, and gain your trust. I also stated my priorities were to leverage the skills of each airman, place an emphasis on teamwork, and reinforce the commitment of our Air Force core values. I hope you feel I have lived up to my plan and priorities. Navigating the COVID situation made things a little more challenging, and my plan to listen, learn, and gain the trust of you took on a little different meaning, and still very pertinent and important. We all had to listen, learn, and gain the trust of each other, The normal drill battle rhythm changed. Most of you moved to virtual drills for a lot of us, and it challenged my IT skills, which isn't very hard to do. Our normal way of doing business changed quite a bit, but what I saw was each and every one of you adjusting and naturally aligning with the priorities I had laid out when I started. Each and every one of you have unique skills to offer from either your civilian job, from your military AFSC training, or your personal experiences and ambitions. This has been a time when not only did we use your AFSC skill set, but we leveraged each other's skills to get the job done. Teamwork was of the utmost importance to effectively get our work done, and your Air Force core values were in display daily. I couldn't have been more proud to have been in command of the Mission Support Group and witnessed the outstanding work you were able to get done each and every day. Thank you all for what you have made, thank you for all you do. You have made my time here very enjoyable and memorable. Lieutenant Colonel Bill and members of the 210th Engineering Installation Squadron, I have learned a lot about the EIS Squadron and what they do, and it never fails to amaze me the range of projects you are involved in and how much of it is accomplished separate from the wing. Keep the 210th reputation going strong. Lieutenant Colonel Hull and members of the Security Forces Squadron, you are a dedicated group who have had to endure a lot of extra duties both on and off base with limited staffing. I wasn't able to fix the limited staffing issue, but hopefully Lieutenant Colonel Winter can. You do an amazing job of keeping us safe. Keep up the outstanding work. Lieutenant Colonel Hansen and the members of the Civil Engineering Squadron, you all do an outstanding job of keeping the base looking in top-notch condition. The troop labor projects are a great success. Keep your head up and above water as you help manage the ever-changing ATSO training requirements. Lieutenant Colonel Steinmetz and the members of the Force Support Squadron, the Air Force has an enormous amount of regulations and personnel processes that can oftentimes make your head spin. You do an excellent job of making these personnel actions easier for our service members, and you do it with pride and care for our airmen. Thank you for all you do. Lieutenant Colonel Bartlett and Major Rogie and the members of the Logistics Readiness Squadron, it has been a very busy 2 years with our members going all over the globe on RCP taskings along with multiple state active duty taskings. You have done an outstanding job of taking care of our members and processing them for their various assignments. Keep up the great work. Major Todasek and the members of the ComFlight, technology is great, but when it doesn't work correctly, the world can come to a halt pretty quick. And I'm not the best technology user, and it can become IT challenged fairly easily, as I've mentioned before, and you've probably witnessed. Thank you for your patience and help with me and others on base. You do a great job of keeping our IT infrastructure running and safe. Keep up the great work. MSG staff, thank you for all the help you've provided myself and others across the wing. The Mission Support Group is about supporting all areas of the wing to help accomplish the mission. You make customer service your #1 priority, and you do this with pride. It has been a great working with you and great getting to know each one of you better. Chief Tukulski, I've been very lucky to have such a great chief. Your experience, your insight, and your caring relationship with our airmen has been invaluable to me. They say behind every great leader is a great chief. I'm not sure I was the great leader, but you are a great chief and have been a great help to me. I will always be grateful for your assistance and your friendship. Jamie, I know you will continue to do great things, and I wish you the best. Lieutenant Colonel Winter, thank you for being patient with me as my deputy commander, as we work through the daily tasks along with the drill prep and the drill weekend activities. You help make my time here easier and I will always be grateful for your assistance and your friendship. To all those in the Mission Support Group, you have a great leader and friend here with Lieutenant Colonel Winter taking over as Mission Support Group Commander. Brian, I know you will do well, and I wish you the best. Lastly, I want to give special thanks to my family. To my wife, Cindy, thank you for being with me and supporting me. Thank you for taking the time, taking up the slack back at the home when I'm at drills and often deployments. Thank you to the kids, Brandon, Nathan, and Katie. Thank you for the patience and understanding. Since all of you are now in the Guard with Nathan or Brandon up at the 148th as a crew chief, Nathan here at the wing as in the sheet metal shop, and Katie off at training for AeroMeds. I think you have a little better understanding of why I did what I'm doing and understand why I've missed a lot of your activities. But that doesn't make it any easier for you either. Thank you for your understanding, and I look forward to seeing you grow in your military and civilian careers. Thank you everyone for being here today. It means a lot to me. It reinforces the support that has been given to me and my family throughout my military career. It has been my honor to have served alongside all of you as your Mission Support Group Commander. And as Brian takes command, I will close with the following words of advice. Leadership is not necessarily being an expert in your field. Leadership is understanding your organization, trusting the people you work with, and earning their trust to efficiently make informed decisions that are in the best interest of the organization and the best interest of the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Mott. The ceremony you're about to see is a time-honored tradition in the military which visibly assures continuity of command. This is symbolically represented by the unit flag being passed from the outgoing commander to the presiding officer, who then gives it to the incoming commander. Colonel Cleet, the presiding officer, will now execute the change of command for the 133rd Mission Support Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Attention to orders. By Special Order G-3, Colonel Brian L. Mott is relieved as Commander 133rd Mission Support Group, Minnesota Air National Guard, effective 31 October 2021. Lieutenant Colonel Brian C. Winter is appointed as Commander 133rd Mission Support Group, Minnesota Air National Guard, effective 1 November 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Lieutenant Colonel Winter, Commander of the 133rd Mission Support Group. And ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Well, there's a couple things I'll start with. Just support group, we're all about, not all about, but we're about logistics. And so we've got some interesting logistics here today with using this thing to talk over Facebook. So we've got that down, but also we can help the chapel with any unfunded requests to get you some more of these microphones so we can do this a little more efficiently in the future. But anyway, good afternoon, everyone. Brigadier General Best, Colonel Cleet, Colonel Dominguez, Group Commanders, Colonel Shidla, Command Chief Legvold, officers, enlisted airmen, friends and family, that are here today and on Facebook. Thank you all for attending today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Taking command of the 6 units and 450, 500 or so airmen of the MSG is an absolute honor. It truly is. And as Colonel Cleet stated, this group is among the, well, it's really the most diverse group in the wing, with its wide range of mission sets and capabilities in the areas of civil engineering, contracting, communications, engineering installation, force support, logistics, and installation security. I'm absolutely thrilled to have the privilege of leading you all, and I look forward to getting to know more of you personally in the days ahead. By way of thanks, I need to start by thanking the MSG Airmen responsible for supporting today's event. You're probably going to hear a few themes from what I say based on what Colonel Mott and Colonel Cleet said. We intentionally included here today to support our event representatives from each MSG unit. And I just want to call them out briefly. From CE Civil Engineering, Master Sergeant Bovey, our comm flight support up here, Tech Sergeant Humphrey and Senior Airman O'Donnell. From EIS, Master Sergeant Gray. From FSS, A1C Larson, LRS Captain Leeser, SFS A1C Smith. And then, of course, our MSG staff. I want to give a special thanks to Chief Tukulski and Tech Sergeant Nielsen and the rest of the staff for your efforts in planning and executing our change of command here today. So thank you. Colonel Cleet, first off, I want to thank you for your trust and for this opportunity to lead this group of airmen in support of our wing's mission. Thank you also for your leadership of the wing and your passion for our airmen. It certainly speaks volumes about the type of leader that you are. So thank you, sir. Colonel Mott, I want to thank you for your leadership of the group during these unprecedented times. I don't know how many of you know, a few of you probably know this, but Colonel Mott started our careers approximately about the same time together as second lieutenants up at the 148th Fighter Wing in the logistics group, which later became the maintenance group. And I still remember Colonel Mott's first drill at that time. Second Lieutenant Mott reported to the 148th upon your transfer from Indiana. And over my years in Duluth at the maintenance group, our many chats, we were officed right next door to each other. And it's kind of special to be here as you approach your retirement. And given that we've spent a number of years working next to and closely with each other. So thank you. It's definitely not lost on me. I don't think lost on any of us, really, that with you being a career maintenance officer, you had a huge amount to learn stepping into mission support. And learning all of that in a fairly short time with everything going on certainly was no easy task, to be sure. But the fact that you stepped up to fill the gap there in the group is much appreciated. So thank you for that and for your engagement and support over the last 21 months. I also want to thank briefly General Best. Thank you, ma'am. As a prior mission support group commander, we've worked closely together for many years. Thanks for your leadership and mentorship. You've been just an outstanding mentor. I also want to thank Colonel Shidla. I learned a ton from you as your DETCO in the 210th, and it's exciting to have both of us working through this role now. So excited for that opportunity as we go forward as well. No one gets to this level of leadership purely on their own merits or without the support of the leaders that have come before us. There's so many others that I could thank, and I've got a couple more that I'll mention by name, but the list is truly too numerous to name everyone. But I do want to thank all the officers and enlisted leaders from the 148th Fighter Wing, the 133rd Airlift Wing, Joint Force Headquarters, the Minnesota Army National Guard, and the Air National Guard engineering and installation community that I've been blessed to work with and learn from over the course of my entire career. Truly special to have that much of a broad range of perspectives and work with some great leaders from all those areas. Each of you have played an important part in leading up to this event today. Couple more quick shout outs to my EI brothers in arms from the 251st out in Springfield, Ohio. Colonel Dominguez, thrilled to have you here today, sir. Colonel Dominguez and I, he's in town for the 210th 50th anniversary celebration happening this evening. He's a former Texas Air Guardsman from our sister EI unit down in Houston. And so we were fellow squadron commanders together, and I had the honor of working for him also upon his move to the EI group as a vice and then group commander. Sir, you're one of the most effective commanders I've ever worked with. You really are. And just thrilled that you could be here today. I've learned a ton from you. Thanks for your leadership, your friendship, and your mentorship. And look forward to getting to visit with you a little bit more tonight. Secondly, I've got to just mention another mentor from Ohio, Colonel retired Wade Rupert. I think he's going to be watching via Facebook Live. But Colonel Rupert, I've learned an immense amount from you as well, especially regarding the importance of staying connected, the importance of recognizing and celebrating our military heritage, and of course, taking care of our airmen. You've been a great friend and mentor, and I thank you for continuing to teach me and others. To my parents who are hopefully were able to get online and watch via live stream from Detroit Lakes, I want to thank you both for your love and support. I also want to thank my dad for his service in both the Minnesota Army and the North Dakota Air National Guard. And then, of course, to Team Winter, my family here in the front row, Jessica, Adam, and Amelia. You guys are amazing, and I truly thank you for your continued love and support. So, Colonel Mont kind of mentioned this. He and I both came into our roles in early 2020. He in February, and then I followed shortly behind as his deputy in March. And my first week back at the wing full-time was exactly the week that all the DoD guidance regarding managing the COVID-19 pandemic started to flow down. So that was quite a way to start in this business. In addition, over the past 2 years, we've all of us in this room and in uniform have had to manage and lead through COVID travel, social distancing, health protection condition restrictions, learning to telework and to conduct virtual drills, managing the response to civil disturbance here in the Twin Cities after the death of George Floyd, including a first of its kind entire wing state activation to help secure the base, both of our downtowns and our state capital. We've also led through providing community-based COVID-19 testing site support and long-term care facility support. Really that among all these efforts is really borne on the back of our airmen. Supporting Operation Capital Response, where the 133rd led the nation in sorties, cargo, and passengers moved out to Washington, D.C. More civil disturbance response during the Officer Chauvin trial, ongoing deployments in support of our federal mission to SOCOM, AFCENT, USAFE, and AF-Africa, including the departure of U.S. forces and Afghans from Afghanistan and allies from Afghanistan. And then on top of all that, a MAJCOM unit effectiveness inspection, in addition to really just our regular training and mission support requirements. So, wow, that's a lot of stuff. And during all this, I just want to say to the MSG Airmen, you all have really performed superbly during that time, and really none of us can say when this is going to return to normal. It's likely we'll need to continue to lead and to manage through this constant change while keeping an eye towards the future and the future potential for a high-end fight involving our near-peer adversaries with rapidly advancing military capabilities and technology. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go too far into leadership philosophy or strategic priorities at this time. That'll come with my mission support group leaders over the next few months. However, I would like to take a few moments to discuss my role as I see it and start off with some high-level expectations for the members of the support group. Excuse me. As I see it, my first role is to ensure the units of the MSG are pulling together to fully support the wing, commander's priorities, the wing's airmen, and ultimately the successful execution of the wing's mission. In order to be successful in these areas, we need all airmen in the MSG to exhibit exemplary followership, customer service, and dedication to building their competencies first and foremost. Commanders and enlisted leaders, you must couple this guidance with out-front leadership and continue to drive success in wing readiness and wing readiness initiatives, whether that's training, force management, readiness exercises, and the like. The time for all of us to leave a legacy of preparedness with our airmen for what's possible to come down the road is right now. Like many of us heard from Major General Wyrick yesterday, we had the honor of hearing from him, the Air National Guard Assistant to the Air Force Surgeon General. We have from now until the first shot is fired to prepare and train our airmen. Second way I see my role is just for being an advocate for the units and the airmen of the MSG, to help remove obstacles and solve problems that are getting in the way of our successful mission accomplishment. In order to do that, commanders, I ask for your transparency where roadblocks exist and other clear communication on areas where you have tried and are struggling to resolve issues. As leaders, it's absolutely essential that we do our homework on complex issues in order to set our bosses up for success in sound decision making. In return, I commit to you to continue to be a transparent leader and to do whatever I can to ensure your mission success. I want to close by once again thanking you all for being here today and for your continued support of Mission Support Group. I look forward to working together on building a legacy of prepared airmen and that are ready for whatever challenges are next for our state and nation. Thank you, and let's go to work.
Thank you, Colonel Winter. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Winter, I'd like to take this time to thank you all for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the departure of the official party.